Hi, today I want to talk about the Bentonia style of tuning. One of the last times that I was at the Bluefront Cafe, Jimmy passed me the phone to talk to somebody who had a question about the tuning, and then I know recently I was told somebody requested a video from the Bluefront page, so I was asked to make one, and so we'll look at how to get from E standard tuning into the Crossnote tuning, and then specifically a little closer towards where Jimmy plays his guitar, which was what the video request was for. So if you're in E standard tuning, we'll start here. Low string is E, fifth string is A, fourth string is D, third string is G, second string is B, first string is E. This is perhaps the most common guitar tuning. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go from E standard, which is sometimes called natural tuning. First we're going to go to D crossnote. This is a D minor tuning, commonly associated with Skip James. And then from there we're going to go to C sharp, which is closer to where Jimmy, I believe, prefers to play. Now I think that there is a misconception. People sometimes say that the Bentonia tuning is D minor, but my perception is that that's not entirely accurate. D minor is the tuning in which Skip James was tuned to in his early recordings. Well-known, much-loved 1931 recordings. A lot of the guitar is tuned to D minor on those songs. In the 60s, you might have caught him on record, maybe D minor, E flat minor, E minor. But the idea that we want to take is that it's the cross note tuning, and that tuning could be, you could have your low string tuned to a number of different notes, so that should say C sharp there, actually. Okay, so yeah, so we will move through the three. To get from E standard to D cross note, you want to tune your low string down from E to a D, and so it will match your fourth string. So low D, A, fourth string is D. Now from here you can put your third finger, any finger, on the third fret of the fourth string to get an F natural note, and we will use that as our reference for tuning the third string down. Got this tuner here just in case that's helpful, but I advise doing it by ear. I feel like it can be even nice to tune this string just a hair flat, so that when you've got your first finger on the first fret of the third string, you can form a nice sounding major triad if need be. Now the second string is going to get matched as an octave to the fifth string. So that's now also an A. You might find that the guitar starts to go a little sharp, so it's still kind of in tune with itself, but as you lower the tension, the balance may go off a little bit, so we can recalibrate as we go. But then first string will be matched to the fourth string. And so now we're down in the ballpark. We can fine tune from here if we want to get a little closer to pitch. So now we're in the tuning, and I think, again, instead of thinking of Bentonia tuning as D minor, it's the crossnote tuning. And the way I think of the crossnote tuning, your 6th, 4th, and 1st strings are all octaves of each other. Your 2nd and 5th strings are octaves of each other, and then the relationship between these two notes is that they are a 5th apart. So D to A, D, E, F, G, A is a 5th, and then the remaining note on the 3rd string, in music school they might say that is a minor 3rd. So when you strum the chord, it's a minor chord, and that is D minor. If you put your 1st finger on the 1st fret, which is commonly done in the style, it becomes a D major. But really the tuning has a minor tonality. And so that frequency, that kind of tonal range, D minor has that Skip James kind of feel. But Jimmy generally, I mean, I've seen and heard him play in D minor as well. He'll sing and play wherever the guitar is tuned to and do just fine, but he has told me he likes the strings to be a little more slack, and I find that typically it's around the C sharp range. So if we look at our screen again real quick, we will see that we have dropped our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings, E, B, G, to D, A, F, and our 6th string E down to D. So I've never heard it referred to as such, but if you're familiar with dad-gad tuning, the D minor cross note is like a dad fad. But again, never heard it referred to that way in Bentonia, and I think that becomes kind of irrelevant as we move into the C sharp cross note. So now we're going to drop all of the strings, we might say 1/2 step. So D to C sharp, A to G sharp, F to E, D to C sharp, A to G sharp, and D, low D down to a low C sharp. If you're using a tuner, this works well because tuners, I think, generally give us the note as a sharp rather than a flat. So now I'm just going to start dropping each string down. So I've lowered this string from D to C sharp. Now from A on the 5th string down to G sharp. Already you can hear there's really just a difference in mood as we start to drop down in pitch. So that's 4th string D to C sharp, 3rd string F to E, 2nd string A down to G sharp, 1st string D down to C sharp. And so the tuner can be a useful reference, but it is encouraged to do this by ear and to listen as you go, so that you can really relate to the tuning from the inside out. So that is, I think, a subtle but powerful difference in the tone and the atmosphere that the music can create. So those are three spots that Jimmy tends to play in. You can hear in the C sharp, it starts to really, everything kind of gets heavier, maybe a little slower, a little more pensive. You could go down to C cross note. I mean, you can tune it to wherever you want, but the relationship really is that 6th, 4th, and 1st strings are octaves, 5th string and 2nd string are octaves, and the relationship is 1, 5, 1, and then the minor 3rd, 5, 1. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have questions. I do try to be as helpful as I can in getting the word out about this music. Okay, thanks a lot.